Gen Z branding, how young founders are redefining corporate gifting. What inspired you to dive into corporate gifting space and what problems are you trying to solve?
Whenever I was drawing my logos.
So thank you so much, Caden, for giving me your time. This is Rohit from Team Vector Art. The today's topic is Gen Z branding, how young founders are redefining corporate gifting. Well, I was impressed by the name of your company, and I want to give you well wishes that you're doing this thing at a really young age and proud of you, buddy. At just 18, you had just built Etchify from the ground up. What inspired you to dive into corporate gifting space and what problems are you trying to solve?
So to be honest, I really didn't really want to be in the promotional product space at first, but I ended up getting tossed into it about 2023.
Right.
My dad just threw me in. The problem I'm just solving is retention for office managers.
Beautiful.
Etchify, the name, I just kind of came up with it in a sketchbook kind of whenever I
Right.
was drawing my logos.
Uh-huh.
And I've been just with that ever since. It was just my favorite one out of all the ones I kind of threw out there, and it kind of stuck. So now I've been using it ever since.
The enthusiasm I see on the social media. Well, Team Vector Art is proud of things they're doing it, and I'm proud to do host a podcast with you that sharing your
Mhm.
knowledge and experience at this level. What brought you at this stage to doing the such stuff? The audience listening this podcast about the SIPPI member understand that to start early is such a benefit
Mhm.
when they reach my age. How do you think Gen Z approaches branding differently compared to previous generations, especially in the context of customized gift and promotional items?
I think most will approach it in the same way, really. I don't
Right.
think they would change much, but the only main change I think I would see is maybe they'd focus a little bit more on quality. I know a lot of people, especially where I live, that the main focus isn't like price, it's usually quality.
Right, of course.
So I feel like for me, I put a lot of emphasis more so on actually it being usable. So you could actually use it and then you could keep on using it. It's actually useful where they'll use it so many times, you'll get a lot more impressions.
Perfect, perfect. And rightly you said more on quality. If they focus, you'll be gaining a more. The third question, what strategies have helped you build trust and credibility with larger client despite being a younger entrepreneur in the competitive industry?
That's actually one that I've had experience quite a bit. I worked with
Yeah.
a Fortune 10 company, Exxon. You could
Uh-huh.
probably figure them out pretty quickly based off reading my profile. It's got
Mm-hmm.
to be on there. But to be on there, they're either going, it's going to be one or two ways. So either they're going to have like kids themselves and they're
Mm-hmm.
going to have a feel for you as a person,
Mm-hmm.
or you provide enough value where they trust you enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the main problem for us. We're just
Of
like
course.
kids, and it's a problem if you can trust us. My main focus is providing more value than most people provide because even with that, it's probably not even enough
Right.
compared with my age. So I try to help them with branding. I mean, of course, Exxon didn't really need that. I found somebody with kids actually, but I try to help them with their actual own branding. So that's kind of more so medium-sized companies, lower employees, somewhere around from 50 to 500 employees.
Right.
Those are more companies that I help with that. And
Right.
then, of course, the companies are smaller than that. But with the bigger companies, it's more so how much value you could provide, so cost, and then things that you can actually bring them that they're wanting.
Well, the fourth question, how do you balance creativity, scalability when producing personalized gift that still feel meaningful and high impact on each client?
So I actually didn't really think most people had this problem. I
Mhm.
personally do have this problem though. It does take a lot of time to design the products like you're saying. I
Uh,
mean, I used to spend hours just designing lots of designs and then sending it to clients to check it. Now,
uh-huh.
with the processes that I've used, I mean, I use Adobe Illustrator now, but the processes that I use, I've got it down to more so 20 minutes for everything, 20 to
Right,
30 minutes for all the
right.
designs I need. And sometimes I'll even outsource it for, if I'm getting someone else to produce it, manufacturers like
Mm-hmm.
ESPA, ASI, I'll get
Mm-hmm.
them to design it sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, the fifth question, what trends do you see
Mhm.
shaping the future of corporate gifting and how can brands stay ahead by aligning with Gen Z values and expectations?
This is kind of similar to what I said earlier, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think there's gonna be crazy, crazy shifts. Personally, I like the way everybody else does it. It's
Uh-huh.
just the focus on having it actually usable
Right.
because the better results you can get, the better, you actually have everything. So it's all about results for me. Maybe some people will change it to newer items, things that, are more up to date. But other than that, just quality and then actually usability.
And rightly, you said that there is the sustainability, eco-friendly quality. You value
Hmm.
your customer. You make sure the
Yes.
decoration is done properly in hand time. These are the simple things that a supplier or entrepreneur need to be
Hmm.
aware to safeguard the customer's respect, recommend the faith that he had in you. If you break that faith, how hurtful that customer will be, and you'll lose a client for next time. I'm sure it's the early age you'll get more clients, but if you would have served him better,
Hmm.
he would have served you for $1 million account.
Yes.
What is
You
your
really.
best email address if anybody wants to get in touch with you or do a partnership with you or do a franchisee offer?
Etchify engraving at
Okay,
gmail.com.
beautiful. Thank you so much for giving us the time, Karen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.